Hey everyone. Hey everyone there on YouTube. We are live, about to get started with our evening's program. Um, if you'd like to say hello in the chat, please feel free to do so and let us know where you are in the world. Great. So, greetings, animal allies. Welcome to another AAM program designed to help you become a more knowledgeable, effective, and outspoken advocate for the animals. Tonight, Malaina Watts explores the significance of the plant-based treaty, its impact on animals and the planet, and how you can become a part of a campaign for a more sustainable future and a greener, kinder world. My name is Michelle Granberg. I'm your moderator. I'm a mentor and team member with Animal Activism Mentorship. AAM is a multinational program supporting seasoned as well as new fledgling activists. Our mission is to empower activists to reach their full potential and equip them with the tools they need to boldly participate in our global animal liberation movement. Founded in 2020, AAM offers a free 3-month mentorship program, which pairs experienced activists with aspiring activists. Additionally, we offer free online programs like this one. We have a podcast called the Animal Liberation Hour, and we host large-scale in-person activism events around the country. If you're interested in applying to become a mentor or mentee, or want to get involved or to donate, visit our website, animalactivismmentorship.com. All right, so keep an eye on the chat for information and links that we'll be providing as we go along. And now I get to introduce our presenter, Malaina Watts. Malaina will be taking questions after her presentation, so hold them until then, please, if you would, and then you're welcome to put them in the chat. Feel free to use the chat as we go along, but please keep all your comments kind and respectful of one another. All right, Malaina, go ahead and take it away.
Hello, everyone. It's awesome to be here today to talk to you about something that is near and dear to my heart, which is the plant-based treaty. I know a lot of you have already heard me talk about it, but you're going to hear me again. The plant-based treaty is a campaign that was set forth by the Animal Save movement by Anita Krantz. It's been going on since, I believe, about 2020. And I have been working with the plant-based treaty since a little before November 2022. I've also been a mentor with AAM since 2021. And I've done a lot of different activism. And since I've been working with the plant-based treaty, I feel like this is something that is really going to be moving. They focus on institutional change, but we're going to get into that. So we can go ahead and change to the next slide, please. So for those of you who aren't familiar what the plant-based treaty is, the plant-based treaty is a global agreement in line with our Paris Agreement, and it's putting food systems at the forefront of combating the climate crisis. The plant-based treaty aims to halt widespread degradation of critical ecosystems caused by animal agriculture and promote a shift to sustainable plant-based diets. We'll go to the next slide, please. So what we're trying to do is focus on institutional change, and we have 3 demands known as the 3 R's. The first one is relinquish, which is freezing expansion of animal agriculture and halting widespread degradation of critical ecosystems caused by animal agriculture. So what the plant-based treaty aims to do is to no longer use land for animal agriculture, no more factory farms, no more slaughterhouses, and they want to phase out the ones that we currently have. And the next, redirect. We want to transition to a plant-based food system and promote a shift to more healthy, sustainable plant-based diets. So while doing institutional change, what we're trying to focus on is our goal is 60% plant-based within the next 2 years. And we're working on different places, different institutions, which we'll get into shortly, and trying to use the playbooks that we have to push in this direction, which is super important. And third is to restore, to reforest the earth, actively reverse damage done to planetary functions, ecosystem services, and biodiversity. So we all know that with animal agriculture, it's eating up our land, it's polluting our waterways, polluting our soil, polluting our air. So what we aim to do is to plant trees and plants and to replenish our broken ecosystems. So if we can go to the next slide, please. So you might be asking, why do we need a plant-based treaty? So the why is there's the climate, ocean, and biodiversity crisis. Fossil fuels and animal agriculture are the driving force behind runaway global warming, as well as extensive biodiversity loss. Large-scale deforestation, species extinction, water depletion, soil degradation, and ocean dead zones. The existential threat we face as we sail towards a Mad Max scenario is of grave concern. But there is still time to turn the ship around. But we must act now, and we must act fast. So this is where you come in. This is where you can help. So whether you're acting alone or as part of a climate action group, school, hospital, business, or a city, you can be part of a growing do-it-together movement, forging change and helping build a brighter future for generations to come. So I'm going to tell you how you can help us with it, and we're going to switch to the next slide. So there are many ways that you can get involved in the plant-based treaty, and there's something for everyone, regardless of your social anxieties or whether you're an introvert, extrovert. You can do stuff from the comfort of your to getting out in the streets. So the first one we like to start with is be vegan. I mean, obviously, most of us here are. We know adopting a plant-based diet is the single biggest action a person can take for the planet. And the IPCC agrees that a shift towards plant-based diets can significantly reduce related greenhouse gas emissions. So if you're already vegan, we're already doing a great job there, but we need a little more help from you. So the campaigns that we're running through the plant-based treaty, like I said, we're focusing on institutional change. So we're looking at cities, universities, restaurants, prisons, hospitals, assisted living facilities, daycares, you name it. We want to get into these places and have conversations and encourage them to endorse the plant-based treaty. And when I first started with the plant-based treaty, it was pretty much just sign. Now, since I have to say, I think they started talking about a 1.5 plant-based treaty back in October sometime. And as from October to now, I'm just blown away by the resources and the playbooks and the workshops and all the things that they have available for people to get involved. So with the city's campaigns, what we're doing right now is I have taken the liberty of collecting the data of every counselor in every city in every state across the whole United States. And this is a worldwide campaign, so other countries have done the same. So now when you go into the plant-based treaty, plantbasedtreaty.org, you can go into the campaigns and you can find your city, and all you have to do is go in and put in where you live, your city, and it's already got a pre-written letter ready to go to your counselor. So that's one way that you can take action, is by going in and doing that and sharing your link to your city in different vegan groups on social media, and encouraging people to do that. I have recently met with the counselors from Orlando, and all they did was receive a letter from somebody shooting it off through this email. So their last time they visited their CAP, their climate action plan, was back in 2018. And so they've invited us on to look at their food plan, as well as whatever we'd like to for the future. Martin County, the mayor has endorsed in Florida. So we're hoping to talk to him about moving forward. And I live in Florida, by the way. And so Boynton Beach, Florida was the first to endorse the plant-based treaty. We currently have 22 cities, and on the 22nd, this is around the world, and on the 22nd, there's going to be an announcement, but I'll break it to you now. It's Amsterdam is announcing their signing of the treaty, so that's super awesome. And we're now trying to hold them to commitments and to make a plan. So it's a little more than just signing. So we're also doing university campaign. The university campaign is a one that I really, really love. So what we're doing with the university campaign is we are trying to get in touch with the chefs and the sustainability people on the campus, as well as groups that might be into climate or vegan or plant-based. I'm currently working with a group called SPEAK, which stands for Students Protecting the Environment and Animals Through Knowledge. They are at the University of South Florida campus. And since I've been speaking with them, I was delighted to know that they are now tabling every Tuesday on their campus from 10 to 12 and pushing the plant-based treaty and endorsements. And what we're going to be doing next is I'm going to be visiting the campus, and we're going to discuss how we can get into the cafeteria and push that menu to 60% plant-based within the next 2 years. What I have them doing right now is doing some petitioning and having people sign along the campus that would be interested in more plant-based options, which is a great way to let your school know that there are already people standing by that are really interested in this, and they're ready to purchase whatever they have on hand. Another great thing about the university's campaign is that the students are just now moving out on their own. They're not living with their families anymore. So they're able to make more decisions for themselves, as far as where they eat and what they do. They're able to align themselves with whatever, ethically or morally makes them happy. And there are young voters. So the more we get on board with the plant-based treaty, the better it is for our voting for our cities. So they're obviously going to want a counselor who's going to endorse or move in a plant forward direction or an eco-friendly way. So the university campaigns are a really great way to get involved. Restaurant campaigns we're doing as well. You can get involved by either having restaurants that are already vegan endorse, and we can feature them on our worldwide website, so they can get a little boost, and people can see that there's some really great restaurants out there that are also involved and want to see these changes made. But we also do a veg advocacy where you could go into restaurants and you can talk to them about adding more plant-based options. Plant-based milks are a great way to start. We get to know a lot of people who say lactose intolerant. I say not a baby cow, but there's a lot of people of different ethnicities that just can't handle dairy. So I mean, it's the obvious one to move forward with. We've seen a lot of changes in universities. In the time that I was collecting data for the universities, I do notice on their websites that they are talking plant forward, they are talking sustainability, but there are still the ethically sourced eggs and the humanely or ethically sourced flesh. And so I think a lot of these places just need some education, and so the universities are definitely a great way to get in, and the restaurants as well. So prisons are also a campaign that we're doing. We know some of our friends have been in jail or prison for one thing or another with animal rights. It's hard to get vegan meals in there. It's hard to to get them fed. I know we've had some campaigns going on. We've made some calls, especially with our Cop City campaigns. So the people who have written the playbooks for the prisons are people who have already been in the system and they know how it works, and they have made an awesome playbook. So if you're interested in doing that, you can get in there and learn how to move your way through the system to make some changes that way. Also hospitals. Hospitals are a great campaign. I've been working with some doctors who have said that hospitals should literally be sued for offering patients, animal flesh secretions and ovulations after they've had, surgeries for cardio or clogged arteries, anything like that. And, so getting into hospitals would be really great. What we're trying to go for, if you don't know of Mayor Eric Adams in New York City, he's implemented the greener by default in 11 of the hospitals in New York City, to where you will get plant-based foods unless you specify that you would like something other. So that's the direction that we're trying to move in with hospitals. And we also have an octopus farming campaign and a couple of different other campaigns. So for the octopus farming campaign, if you're not aware of it already, there's a company by the name of Nueva Pesca Nova. They are trying to open an octopus farm in the Canary Islands. And obviously, we know that this is not something that's going to be sustainable. The octopus, obviously, they eat other animals. They can be carnivorous if they are not fed properly. They're super intelligent, amazing animals. Obviously, we know no animal should be farmed. But this is something that we're trying to raise awareness of and help it to be stopped in the Canary Islands. This is something that's big on menus in Spanish restaurants. I've looked up several that are here in Florida in the Tampa Bay area that I would like to approach. So there's different things for everybody. So if you haven't seen a campaign here that you're interested in, I'm sure I can find something for you to do. There's so many actions that you can take with the plant-based treaty for anybody. Like I said, whether you prefer to be in your home or go out in the streets, or you're good at lobbying or talking to council members, or you want to get into the schools. Maybe you're great at doing workshops. We can get you into some of the colleges to speak. But a few of the actions that I have here are tabling. I've had the great opportunity to do several tabling events at Veg Fests, petitioning, lobbying, emailing, social media. We can do marches. Like I said, I've done data collection, and there's a lot of data to still be collected, I'm sure, as we get further into the universities and prisons and hospitals. So there's something there for any of you. So for anybody who is interested in joining our campaign, you are encouraged to sign up. Every Friday, Plant-Based Treaty has an orientation meeting. They're at 10 a.m. as well as 2 a.m., and I can get you the link to those. We also have every Friday is the Plant-Based Treaty update meeting, which I love sitting in on. Like I said, this is a worldwide campaign, so I get to work with some of these amazing people from around the world that sometimes I just feel like I don't even belong in the room with. You know, scientists, climate scientists, people who, doctors, lawyers, you name it, just some really incredible people working on these campaigns. So it's great to get in there. You'll find out how many individual endorsements we've gotten, how many celebrities and cities, and a lot of the time somebody will do a presentation where you can learn a lot of really, really great stuff. So they're definitely really great to get in on the Fridays. They're really uplifting for me. I'm also now the U.S. liaison for the Plant-Based Treaty. And so I facilitate the monthly Plant-Based Treaty organizer meetings, which we are holding every third Monday of the month. So that's a great opportunity for you to get engaged and network with some of the people around the country who are doing things and find out how they're doing it. And New York City is really, really moving on the city's campaign right now. So they have their own WhatsApp. So they're all kind of taking either a borough or an area, and they're writing letters and they're making phone calls, and they're really moving on it. So I'm really excited to see the progress that New York is making. We have a great team that's in Ohio as well, and we've got them together. So they're working on the cities as well. So we can definitely get you started on a cities campaign if you'd like, and get you hooked up with the people in your community. But I'll leave that for you to tell me what you're interested in, if anything. And like I said, we do have the WhatsApp that we encourage everybody to get on to be with all the organizers, and we can add you to that. Okay, well, that was a lot of information right there. So I'm going to move on to the next slide. So I got involved in the Plant-Based Treaty through, I had first heard of it through a friend of mine, Chris Eubanks. I think a lot of you know him, Sol Eubanks, founder of Apex Advocacy. I had the pleasure of going on it was, I think, an animal safe movement tour. It was going through Georgia and Florida. So I got to meet up with everybody in the St. Augustine area, and that's where I learned about the Plant-Based Treaty. At that time, we were passing out little cards and encouraging people to endorse, but I didn't know as much then as I do now. What got me interested is I was hearing a lot of people talking about it, and I was at the time a new mentor in AAM, and we had World Vegan Month coming up in November, and I had a mentee that I just started working with, and I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea to just try moving on this? And we decided that every weekend in the month of November 2022, we would do a different action every weekend in person. And then during the week, my mentee would go through and put together different things that you can do on social media, whether it's emailing or, or encouraging your friends to endorse or getting somebody to send a city letter. So she was doing those during the week. And some of the events that we did on the weekends were we went to the Tampa Bay Veg Fest, and we just walked around with endorsement sheets, and we talked to people about the plant-based treaty and why they should endorse. And so it was a lot of fun. We got to meet a lot of really cool people there and got a lot of endorsements. So we also did a plant-based treaty food giveaway, which you're able to do as well. We set up a table in St. Pete on the pier, and we passed out Good Planet cheese, and we discussed the dairy industry and its effects on the environment, and had a lot of really, really great conversations with people who weren't aware of what happens in the dairy industry, and some people who are also not able to tolerate breast milk of a cow, and they were very excited about having an option that they were able to enjoy as far as the cheese goes. Another event we did was a plant-based treaty march. So we took to the streets of St. Pete, and I made 20 brand new signs. Prior, my drawings were very questionable. My stick figures were questionable, but I learned how to make some really cool posters, and we took to the streets, and we gave some really great speak outs about environmental and how animal agriculture is affecting us, and what we need to do to continue moving in a good direction. So that was a lot of fun. I do a lot of animal rights stuff, so the chants were a little different, but they were fun getting to know some new ones. And we all had a really great time with that. And then we did a chalking and outreach. So we went to the River Walk in Tampa, which is a really great, just long walk along the water with some great areas that we could do some chalking. And we were able to put some messaging on there, letting people know, what's happening and all that great stuff. And we had a really great month, and that kind of pushed me into a plant-based treaty a little more, because I know a lot of us have conversations and do outreach. And I just feel like the plant-based treaty, while it is still absolutely 100% wrapped around, liberating animals and still doing for the animals, it's in a little different packaging. And I feel like I had some really, progressive, great conversations with teachers and other people who, I mean, if you don't have to love animals or like them to respect their right to live, but we also can't deny that animal agriculture is the leading cause of our climate crisis and that we need to do something about this. So the conversations, I think, were really good, and I wanted to have more of those conversations. So shortly after that, I had started spending time going to the orientation meetings, talking to more people, going to some workshops. And then they wanted to give me a climate save. So the reason why I got a climate save instead of an animal save chapter was because I am working on the plant-based treaty. But you can do anything with it. So it's really great. And not only did I get my chapter, but it is a funded chapter, which is incredible, because I've been doing lots of activism on my own with, coming out of my pocket. So it's really nice to have that opportunity to be funded. From there, I moved on to doing the data collection, which I mentioned. I was able to form a team and work on collecting all the data of all the counselors in every city and every state across the United States, which is now up and live on the plantbasedtreaty.org site. So you can, like I said, go on there and find your city and send out the pre-written letter and encourage other people to do that as well, because like I said, we are getting calls. I have also had the opportunity to participate in the U.S. planning team, where we have gone over how we're going to implement all of our ideas within the United States. And like I said, I've now have been appointed the U.S. liaison, which is super exciting. So I get to, my job now is to facilitate the meetings every month for all the organizers across the United States, as well as to help recruit individuals and teams to help us with the plant-based treaty. With AAM, I think it's great because I have this awesome opportunity as a mentor to get other mentors involved and to get our mentees involved. So offering this as well as, other actions that we do from, our pressure campaigns and our protests and disruptions, things like that. This offers another way for people to get active. And like I said, I think that institutional change is really good. But working with AAM, I've had the opportunity on 2 of our convergences, one to do a food giveaway and another to do tabling at a concert and let people know about the plant-based treaty. I've also done several veg fests recently where I was able to table. And I did work on I did do the International Vegan Earth Day March, which was obviously international. So we had some really cool people around the world that were doing these events, and it was really great to get in on it. So I know I talk a lot and I offer a lot really quick. So hopefully you had a moment to read through some of these things that I presented to you. And maybe there's something that you'd like to get active in doing. And maybe there's something that I haven't listed here that we can find you something to get active in doing. We can move to the next slide, please. So for anybody who is interested in getting involved in the plant-based treaty, I mentioned several ways that you can. But the plant-based treaty at plantbasedtreaty.org, if you have not had a chance to look at it, it is a wealth of information and downloads and sources and tools for you to get involved in any capacity you want to. You have access there to lots of the graphics. You can either print your own or we can supply you with different supplies. On there, you can get banners, posters, vegan guides, social media graphics. We can order you shirts if you're doing an event that we can provide. We also have QR code cards, window decals that you can provide to restaurants who have endorsed that they can put in their window. It'll have the QR code on there as well, so they can promote for us as well. We have stickers and we have literature and we have table toppers, you name it, we've got it. I've got a couple of the items here I can share with you. So this would be one of the decals for the window if somebody endorsed in a restaurant. We have all kinds of really great stickers. I know a lot of us like these on our megaphones. Let's see, a couple of different kinds. So we have shirts that I can give out whenever I do some actions. We have different colors. We have green and white and yellow. And these you can get for your events. Like I said, we have table toppers. They can send you. These just fold up and go on your tables for tabling. And we have these little business cards. Sorry, trying to get it in the right way. But on the back, there's a QR code that'll take you directly to the plantbasedtreaty.org where people can endorse as an individual, a business, or an organization. I personally, I've got a ton of these, but my preference for going out and doing events is to print out the endorsement sheet, because then you have one sheet and not a bunch of cards and a bunch of people that walk off with them and you're not sure if they've endorsed or not. So if you have the form, they can just fill out their stuff there. It just takes you an extra second or two to go online and punch them in yourself. Or I could even help you with that. I don't mind. I just think it's more of a sure bet than waiting on people with these and having a bunch of these running around, but we can get you these as well. And Plant-Based Treaty has this amazing vegan starter kit, and you can get them in several different languages because, like I said, we are around the world. So we have Spanish and whatever, probably Italian, you name it, we can do it. So, but it's a nice guide that, gives you ideas for substitutes and B12 and vitamin D and all the things that, all the questions that people might have. So those are great to have. We also have this neat little insert. It just is a real quick, just cap of what's going on. I like to just hand these to people. It also has the QR code on the back, so you don't have to pass out those QR codes to everybody. It tells you how you can get involved, and it's got this neat little poster on the inside to tack up somewhere or put in your house. One more thing, we have these great banners that are cloth that if you don't want to print your own banner, then we do have, I don't know if I can get this all in the camera, but we do have this great plant-based treaty banner. Try not to see the whole thing, but anyway, you get the idea. It's just a really great, I don't know if we can get it in the window, but we can send those to you should you want a table or do an event at a college or anywhere you would like to. All right, we can move to the next slide, please. All right, so now that you've heard my spiel on everything, here is some information on how you can reach me. I'm at malaina@plantbasedtreaty.org. You can find Plant-Based Treaty on social media at Plant-Based Treaty on Instagram. They're also on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. So you have many venues where you can find Plant-Based Treaty. You can find me also on Instagram at Watts Vegan Living. So you can see everything that I've done through not only AAM, but with other organizations and Plant-Based Treaty. And my chapter is the West Florida Climate Save. So you can see some of the events and things that we've done with my Climate Save as well. Okay, well, I guess we can go ahead and open that up to questions. Thank you very much for having me here today and letting me present this to you.
Ah, good stuff, Malaina. Good stuff. My gosh, the campaign is just so right. There's just so many options. Like you say, there's something for everyone to join in at any level, beginners, experienced, introverts, extroverts. And it's just so evidence-based and it's just so education-based, and yet it's powerful, and yet it focuses on the animals and everything. So, I really, really love it. And know people can get involved, and you covered so much. So do we have questions? People are responding very positively to your presentation, right, on YouTube, Malaina. In general, they really love it. And somebody is saying hi to Georgia. So obviously someone knows your dog. We have Georgia fans.
Yes, relaying the message.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's
so
over here wagging her tail. So whoever said hi, thank you.
That's right. She's wagging her tail back. She doesn't have a YouTube account yet. So,
Not yet.
She will.
So she will. Good. If we're isolated from other vegans, what would be a good, safe way to find vegan curious and vegan people who are interested? Yeah, I guess if there's not a lot of local vegans to where this person is, any recommendations?
So one of the things that they can do from where they are, I am going through right now and making a list of at least 5 vegan social media sites in each state. So I can take the, like for example, Florida, I have a little blurb already pre-written, ready to go. And I'm just linking the Florida, the action for the cities action to it. So in each of those sites that I found, I'm going to put in that little blurb. Please join me in asking your cities to endorse and be a leader is pretty much what it says. And then underneath there's the link to go right to Florida. And then you can go ahead and just it takes 2 seconds, just put in your address, your city, and send it out. So if anybody wants to from home, go ahead and share that. I can provide that to them to provide that link and share that out so we can get more people encouraged to not only endorse individually, but endorse as a city. So that's something that you can do at home. If you don't know a lot of vegans. Also, get involved with AAM if you're not, because AAM is a great networking tool. I mean, we know people all the way around the world and definitely across the country that we can get you involved with in your area that can help you with this campaign or, or do other campaigns. But yeah, it's definitely great for resourcing. But that's something you could do. We also need data collectors if you're good at doing anything as far as social media. You're a tech person. I'm sure we can find a use for you as well. But yeah, there's definitely ways that we can get you involved from home.
Good, good. We need more keyboard warriors. Anyway, somebody was asking, you mentioned the list of restaurants that have already endorsed plant-based treaty. Of course, we want to visit all those and support those. Where is the list? Where is the list on the website? They're wondering.
I don't have an exact list.
Okay.
I can tell you that so far, I don't have a list of just but we have had 1,573 businesses endorse. This week I have gotten, or I'm just going to say not in this last 2 weeks, I've gotten 3 restaurants to endorse already. So it's fairly easy to get them. And feel free, if you go into your favorite vegan restaurant, to ask them if they've endorsed the plant-based treaty and say, hey, go on plantbasedtreaty.org and get endorsed. If endorse as a business, what I do is take a picture of them, and then we can send it in. I get a graphic made by our team with a quote on there as to why they endorsed, and we put that up on our worldwide website, so they'll get a little notoriety there to show that they're an endorser. So that's a way that you can get involved and enjoy some really great food.
Yeah.
But as far as a list, I can find out if we have a list of some of the ones that have endorsed. I mean, we do have a whole database, but I don't have an actual list.
So you said 1,500 businesses. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So
far, restaurants and other types of businesses.
We have 119,641 individual people have endorsed. We have 1,282 organizations that have endorsed. 1,573 businesses have endorsed, and 22 cities have endorsed around the world. And then I think Amsterdam on the 22nd of this month will make 23, if I'm correct. I might not be, but I think that they're going to be the 23rd.
That's so awesome. So, and when you say like cities, who represents the city to actually endorse? Just
the city councilor. They actually the councilors endorse, and we get them to agree to some commitments. We help them, try to with their climate action plans. This is something that I'm getting a little more into as I'm getting these calls coming in, and I've had the opportunity to sit in on some of them and listen. But there are some really great workshops and stuff that are coming up to show you how to present these things, as well as the playbooks. So if anybody's interested in getting involved in that, I hope I'm answering these questions and not just talking.
You are. No, you're doing great. No, you're doing really great. You're giving us more information, and I mean, I know there isn't like a script, but there's so much material that makes it easy for people, especially if we're just starting out, and and you struggle for words. So I think that's really great. So does anybody else have questions? We're still open for, I'm looking for questions. If I missed any, please put them in the chat again. Go ahead and list your questions or your comments. If there are folks who have already gotten involved with the plant-based treaty, if you're thinking of any barriers to getting started, what are your perceived barriers? And if you're ready to kind of get involved, then give us a good thumbs up on that. And of course, we're encouraging folks, like Malaina said, to join AAM, as well, to help refine your activism skills and be part of a network and a community. Lots of overlap in all of these good things. And someone was asking again, what remote things we can do. I think you mentioned those. If there's any others, what remote things can we do? And plant-based treaty actions for larger groups.
So yeah, like from things that you can do online is share the octopus farming petition, share individual endorsements, and definitely get those city campaigns out there. We're really, really trying, because the more cities we can get on board, the faster we can get this rolling. So, go on there and under the city campaign, just copy that link for whatever state you're in. Like I said, mine in Florida, I click on that and I'll just go ahead and share it into as many vegan groups as I can find, or climate action groups, and just keep encouraging them to send them in, because we're getting phone calls. For larger groups, like I said, we can get you any of these supplies that I have. You can table at a Veg Fest. The University of South Florida campus is a freedom of speech campus, and there's several of them out there, I know, where you can go to a designated spot on that campus, and as long as you're not like soliciting for money or anything like that, you can talk about your cause and get people involved. I think it's great to just pick a bunch of restaurants and divide them up, go into the restaurants, or have a meetup somewhere, and all of you go, hey, have you heard about the plant-based treaty? So there, I mean, there's a lot I can go into.
Yeah, you mentioned
tons of things.
marches.
Marches.
Can you tell us any more about the march? Yeah, I mean, being part of an existing march, or actually just
plan your own
organizing
march.
your own march.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I said, I had to get a whole list of plant-based treaty has their own chants and everything. So I had to learn a bunch of new chants. Oh, I was going to show you this as well. So on the on some of the downloads you can get would be for graphics and stuff for you to print out posters. This is one of my octopus farming poster for the campaign. I'm sorry, I have an issue trying to get, okay. So there's this here that we have. There's some really great ones for the plant-based treaty that you can print out. I like to get people to hold this one and sorry, left to right. These signs I spent $20 on. They're made out of yardstake material, for your for sale signs. So they're waterproof. I got them printed both sides for $20. And they also have the QR code at the bottom. So if anybody takes a picture of this, they can go right to it. And they're great for, getting some pictures done. So these are all things that you can print out on your own from just from going to the resources on there. This one here has plant-powered calcium. I've got protein. So you can also, if you're into protests, join the octopus farming campaign and find some restaurants local to you and set up over there. We're doing foie gras. It's similar. Just Georgia wants to say hi. But so there's that campaign as well that we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. How hopeful are you about making a difference with the octopus campaign? Do you think that's a winnable one? Of course, we don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. And
yeah, I mean, obviously, I want to have hope on it. I know that a friend, Ishmael Garcia, he's the one that's the founder of the Worldwide Vegan Chalk Night. He lives in the Canary Islands, and I was very happy to see him taking initiative over there. He's been leading some the campaign on the octopus farming over there. So it's great to have somebody in the Canary Islands actually working on this as well. We really want to get the signatures up for that because we think that that's really important. There's a lot of people working on it. So if you would like to join us on this, it's definitely something that we can use more people on.
Yeah,
but I can't say exactly, how we are on it at the moment. I always hold out hope that we can educate people and do better and find a better way to do things. That's why it's really important that we switch to this plant-based food system so we can stop exploiting all these animals and causing more harm to our environment.
For every reason. So any other questions, folks? We still have a little time for any other questions or comments. Feel free to put in the chat. I'll read them to Malaina. I know you mentioned Mayor Eric Adams. He's the mayor of New York City, not Brooklyn, New York, right?
Yes, New York.
And they endorsed?
He has not endorsed. He supports the plant-based treaty, but he has not endorsed the plant-based treaty.
You would think that would be an easy endorsement, but not necessarily.
You would think so. But he is doing what we're looking for cities to do. He has implemented the plant-based the greener by default, plant-based in 11 hospitals, which is fantastic. I mean, if we can see that all over, I mean, what a great start that would be. He's also introduced Meatless Mondays and Plant Powered Fridays in schools across the city. So that's another really great start. So these are kind of the things that we're looking for cities to start doing.
Oh, I think we lost Malaina. All right, hang on, folks. I'm sure she'll be back. You lose her? Hang on, folks. Don't go anywhere. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm sure she'll be back. I know there's a couple more questions, so she has to come back for those questions. Hello. All right, if you're just joining us, we're waiting for Malaina to come back. She seemed to have dropped off. She's trying up. I got a note. She's trying to get back. She's coming back on. So hang on, folks. Good time to get a glass of water and then come back. Or not. Here comes Malaina. So we're okay. All right.
Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry. I have no idea what happened. It just disappeared. Did I miss anything?
You did your disappearing act.
Oh, no.
Here, 1 minute gone. And no, it's okay. It's quite all right. We'll pick up where we are. Nice to see you. And we'll pick up where we look, because there's a couple. Malaina, you can answer a couple more questions, right?
Okay, let's do it.
Well, yeah, we're good.
Sorry.
So, where could I post online content and attract an audience starting with 0? Like, good strategy.
So starting from a plant-based treaty page, or just in general to start with getting
we could ask for some clarity, but I guess just starting out with your first content, your first post about it.
Like, well, if you're going on Instagram, I like to go to places like even AAM site. I'll go through there and I'll look at all the people who are following and who AAM is, who's following them and who's or us or and I've found a lot of really great people on there, a lot of great contacts. Definitely add all the mentors and the mentees and network. I mean, that's a quick way to get some friends on your site and to get whatever content that you're sharing out there, because all of us in AAM, from every convergence that we've done, we still have a running chat. We all support each other. We all, if you need internet stuff, we need to do a comment storm, we're on it. If we need to make phone calls, we're on it. So both in general, for plant-based treaty, I went on and did my West Florida Climate Save page. Obviously, I had nobody on there to begin with. So my family and friends, obviously, right away, I partnered up with all the other save movements. I added them and all my friends that I've met through these save movements. And I just built my people from there. So I think my personal page, I've got about 1,400 followers at the moment, which I don't know if I'm that interesting, but they're there. And a lot of them are people that I've met through AAM and on convergences. And I was also a captain with the Humane League, and I worked with Mercy for Animals and Slaughter Free Network and CAFT and all these different places. So definitely good people to link up with that'll support you and your content, and we'll share it as well so you can get it out there, because that's what I use social media for. It's too crazy to put your personal stuff on there anymore, family life, things like that. But I definitely think it's a great avenue for activism and getting the information out there.
I agree with that. It's a great way to reach people for the animals. Great community in it for those reasons. So if you're just joining us, we're talking everything plant-based treaty here tonight. Malaina's been giving us lots of great information. Malaina, someone is asking in the chat, You had mentioned about great conversations, that this has led to some really good, deep conversations, productive conversations, which as activists, we're always striving for that. Any come to mind, I guess, any favorite conversations or any surprising conversations come to mind that the plant-based treaty has sparked?
Yeah. So we all know, I mean, I'm vegan all day long, and I use the word vegan, not plant-based, for myself. But the package, it's a little different because I know there's a difference between when we say, and I'm not saying not to use vegan by any means, but there's a difference. Like when you say vegan to somebody, sometimes it'll, hit them a different way than saying plant-based. Unfortunately, we've got this a little bit of a, they think we're extreme, some people, and they think, a little too much, but so I think the package that the plant-based treaty is wrapped in makes it a little bit more, easier to swallow. People will be more approachable with that, with the way that it's packaged, and how we do talk about the animal agriculture, and we do talk about, what, and the animals that are involved in animal agriculture. As far as we get to talk about dairy, and we get to talk about factory farms and slaughterhouses, but we also get to talk about, the cesspools of sludge that are, doing damage, and, methane, and donut economics, and all kinds of things that, encompass not only the animals, but, our future and our health. And I was able to talk to a couple of teachers came up, and they were very interested, and they're saying, oh yeah, we're presenting this in our classroom now. And I'm like, okay, well, you doing it, talking about the factory farming and talking about the slaughterhouses? And they said, yeah, they are. They're bringing it in the way of a climate action. So the students, seem a little bit more, apt to follow things that'll help their future. And I think plant-based treaty goes over a lot better in the conversations. Trying to think of some of the ones we've had. I just know that they're a lot more approachable than saying, vegan and showing them slaughterhouse footage and things like that, which I'm definitely for doing. So not
Yeah.
saying not to, but yeah, just so many more people are more apt to engage with me when I'm talking about this than I am just vegan, using the word vegan.
I mean, it's so hard to get into schools in the first place. Like that's one of the hardest places to get this message in. And so if plant-based treaties getting teachers to talk about it, that's almost like it's almost like a miracle.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's sort, and if cities and politicians are willing to go along with it, then it's not triggering people as much. It's not pushing their buttons as much. It's raising awareness and education, and yet it's still a powerful, not a diluted message at all.
Right.
So I think all of that is really great. Any other questions, folks? Did I miss any questions? If there's any other questions or comments, we're getting great comments, Malaina. They're saying it's another way to achieve animal liberation. Yes, yes, yes.
I do believe so. I think institutional change is definitely a way to go. I mean, we're pushing for a change in the food system, so the animals come right along with that. I've got some cool info if anybody's interested in the meantime on some celebrities who have endorsed, and some
yes, who did
places that are carrying the label now. So we have celebrity endorsers, and we are looking for more. We would definitely love to get in touch with Billie Eilish. I think they wanted to do some voiceover things with her as well. So if anybody knows her, but we've had Paul, Mary, and Stella McCartney endorse. We've had Moby endorse. I think he actually even liked one of my comments that was shared on a plant-based treaty, something or other that was shared onto AAM, which was very cool. So we've got Alicia Silverstone, Joaquin Phoenix, and Rooney Mara, Leona Lewis, the singer, and Paul Wesley, the actor from, I think it was Vampire Diaries. And recently, Oddburger, who is exclusive to Canada, they're obviously a burger joint, a vegan burger joint. They're now going to be carrying the plant-based treaty symbol and QR codes on their bags, which is super cool. But the one that I'm really excited about is VDog. VDog is going to be carrying the symbol as well as the QR code on VDog. So my big thing right now, they're actually, I'm in a chat with them now, which is awesome because I now that I've adopted Georgia, my rescue pitty here, we adopted her back in May, and she is fully vegan. We got her from a friend of ours who was already vegan, so she had already started her on that journey. So we do know that the vegan dog foods are a little more expensive, but I definitely think they're worth it. So I'm hoping to make her the poster child for V-Dog. So hopefully we can get some free food coming in, but I don't know. But they are going to be sending me some samples. And if you go on to the Plant-Based Treaty under their resources, they do have a guide now for plant-based diets for your companion animals, dogs and cats. And definitely love if you can afford to. V-Dog definitely is supporting us, so we'd like to support them.
Yeah, I love them already. Shout out to V-Dog. And now I love them even more for I love them for their ethics. And now this is even more consistent that their ethics are there, that they're endorsing the plant-based treaty. And we want to remember that the same food system is feeding our dogs that we do not want. That's, and unfortunately we have some brands like that. Yeah. So that's really, what do you guys think of that about V-Dog's endorsement? Thumbs up for that, right? Ellen said that support and feed, is that like a band or something? I don't know what support and feed is. We have a meeting with support and feed next week, Ellen says. I don't know if that's a business. Ellen, is it a business? Is that it's like, okay. People are saying that Tobey Maguire and Casey Affleck should endorse. They're both vegan. Did not know that. I love knowing who's vegan. Love it. Odd Burger will have plant-based treat on their packaging in Canada too. Ellen says, love that.
Yeah, Ellen, I work with. She's my partner in this whole U.S. campaign, so she knows a few things that I might have forgotten. So if she is posting something, then it's worth sharing.
Oh, so she clarified that's Billie Eilish's mom's nonprofit.
Okay, yes.
I didn't know that. I just got to know Billie. I just was looking at her Instagram or something recently. Maggie Baird, that's Billie Eilish's mom, and she has been getting a following as well, talking about veganism.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we need Travis Barker and Lenny Kravitz and Maggie Q. And lots of them need to join us.
Yes.
Woody Harrelson, absolutely.
Yes, and we appreciate those. Yes, not to mention celebrities like Malaina Watts. No, just
I'm moving on up there. I'm trying.
You're moving up fast. Yes, athlete endorsements would mean a lot.
Yes.
That's for sure. That would definitely mean a lot. I think you guys should reach out to all the folks in Game Changers.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes. Any other questions for Malaina? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I know we have a few athletes. I didn't make a list of all their names, but you can find all that on plantbasedtreaty.org. There's so much on there to, and I probably haven't even covered half of the stuff that you can get active in doing. So, I mean, if anybody wants to reach out and tell me what you're into or what you're good at, and we can find something for you, I promise you. We definitely love to have you as part of the team. And you don't even have to be an organizer. If you work better alone and you would like to just kind of do it on your own, no problem. We can find something for you to do. I'm not making an announcement, but Ellen and I have been low-key discussing possibly doing an event in Pennsylvania, like an AAM plant-based treaty kind of convergence, to where we can show people, how to do tabling events and writing letters and talking to your counselors, as well as some other, campaigns that they would be doing in the area. I think she had talked about some kind of dog racing, things like that. Because all of it's important, and we can wrap it all up in, in the plant-based treaty and what we're doing. So if anybody has any ideas for that or would be interested, we're talking about possibly in spring. We're just now tossing around ideas. So
we need creative ideas. Yeah, absolutely.
But like I said, there's a lot of things that I'm learning through here, because a lot of you have known me for a little while, and I've been doing animal rights activism for a long time. And there's a lot that I've done, some things that not many on the list of things I haven't done, except for when it comes to plant-based treaty. Like I'm learning lobbying. I just sat in on this. They did a workshop the other day. It was for the university's campaign, teaching you how to write a letter to your chefs. We're trying to get them to support Veganuary and roll out a menu for at least for that month and see how it goes. So if any of you want to go ahead, and if there's already a template ready to go, we can I can share that with you, so you can send a letter to college or university and see if they'll participate in Veganuary, or we can send it to a restaurant, wherever you'd like to go. I mean, we've got tons of resources. So
absolutely.
I
Ellen says,
think,
thank you. Thank you so much, Ellen is saying, for what you're doing for U.S. plant-based treaty.
Thank you for helping me, because we're the two Twinkies in a package, vegan ones, of course. She knows a lot of stuff that I can learn from.
Oh my gosh.
So, she's talking to the counselors, and she's going to UN meetings and all kinds of really great stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to partnering.
Doing this, is very skill building for us as individuals anyway. So it's good for just that reason as well. I mean, we're doing it for the animals and to change the future, but you become more of who you are because you get outside your comfort zone. And that can be that's a really good thing. Talking to people, putting yourself out there. If you want to, aspire to, to build your skills in that way, characteristics, you really can do that. It gives you a reason, a really good reason, a really good why, to do that. And so
absolutely,
I'm not the same person, and I know you're probably think the same thing too. You are not the same person you started out as when you started doing activism.
No, I've definitely built a lot of skills, and I'm still learning every single day. So if you're just a mentee now and you want to be a mentor, I thought at one point, I was like, well, I don't know everything, but AAM's got amazing people to network with, and everybody's always got your back. So if you think you don't know it all, they don't probably know it all either. But if they can offer it to you, they will. So we've got an amazing team behind us. And I think it's great because all of us, sometimes I think of us as kind of the Power Rangers. We all do a lot of things, a big, diverse, bunch of actions and stuff. But some of us are better at some things than others, and we all have something to offer to each other. And together we make a great team. And together is how we're going to fight this climate crisis and get these animals liberated and, move on to happier days. So, there was one other thing I was thinking about as well. I don't know if you know, but here we can go at your commissioner's office. I know they have monthly meetings. Sometimes you can get in and they will allow you to have maybe 3 to 5 minutes to speak in front of the board on an issue that is of importance to you. So sometimes you can go in and you can get those couple of minutes and you can go in and talk to them about the plant-based treaty and find out what they're doing with their climate action plans, and ask them if they would be interested in endorsing or even having a conversation with us.
What a great idea, going to your commissioners meeting to talk about that in a public forum that's recorded. They have to listen to you. They have to give you a platform. I mean, that's a really great idea. Isn't that a great idea, you guys? Malaina, can you just give, again, your information, even though I know it was people can rewatch this. It's going to be on our YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch it again. You can rewind, you can go through it again to review whatever the information, but it's in the slides. But can you, how do people reach out to you if they want to do that right away?
Absolutely. So you can email me at Malaina, it's Malaina, at plantbasedtreaty.org. You can also find me, Instagram's probably the best. You can find me at West Florida Climate Save, or Watts Vegan Living, spelled Watts. That's my last name. So Watts Vegan Living. And you can find me all over the AAM site as well. If you need to, get in touch with me, anybody there can definitely direct you towards me. And if you're interested in learning more or finding out and seeing some of the resources, go to plantbasedtreaty.org. If you want to sign up as a team, you can do the plantbasedtreaty.org/teams. Or you can, instead of putting teams at the end, put endorsements and go ahead and share that all over your social media. I definitely encourage everybody to go in and find your state and select your city and get those letters going. so we can start having those conversations with our counselors.
Yeah. Good. I hope this has inspired folks to, this is a call to action, folks. Don't let it just sit there. Take this, do something. Malaina, do you have any final words? Anything you'd like to wrap up with? Any final words of hope?
Well, I would definitely like to thank all of you for allowing me this space to talk about the plant-based treaty. As I said, it's super important to me. I think that all of us together, we all have the capacity to make change as an individual or as a group. And this is definitely a way that I feel like we can make some significant change. So I would love to have you join us. I would love to get you on the team. I'd love to add you to our WhatsApp so you can meet all these great people that I get to work with. Once again, if you are interested, on Fridays, we have our orientation meetings at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. I can get you the link for that. I usually post them also on my social media, so you can find that. We have the U.S. organizers meeting that I'm facilitating. It's going to be on the third Monday of every month. So I'm just hoping to see everybody there.
Awesome. Thank you, Malaina, so much for all this wonderful, wonderful information. So folks, hang in there for another moment. I'm going to just make a few closing announcements. And that is our next live stream workshop like this is going to be on November 30th. It's going to be media relations and strategic marketing for your animal rights campaign or cause. And then on December 12th, we have an interactive workshop, effective communication skills for activists. And we have, more to come. And please check out our previous workshops here on our YouTube channel and subscribe while you're here. We really would love to get more subscribers and more views. So we appreciate if you help us out with that. Hit the bell so you'll get all our new content. Please consider becoming a patron by finding AAM on Patreon. Your donations allow AAM to continue to provide free educational resources for activists, which ultimately saves more animals. So that wraps up another AAM program. Thank you, Malaina, again for your time and wisdom. So appreciated. Thank you all for being here and the tireless work you're doing for the animals. If you're interested in becoming a mentor or mentee or want to get involved, please reach out to us. Until next time, stay strong, everyone, and live vegan. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.